I'd like to continue the theme of the naked, dressed in the robe of emptiness. How to dress in the robe of emptiness. This is a robe of emptiness. Today we're going to go with the theme. We want to become a naked. We stand naked, not in a physical sense, but strips away, especially this kind of concept or heavy load we carry, usually wrapped around ourselves. We are dropping off, you can say, the armor of the I, of the self and the mind. As the Panchen Lama beautifully reminds us in this poetry, when we stop grasping at the solid self, what happened? We don't vanish, right? We don't vanish into nothingness that we have been studying. Instead, we find a new way of moving through or relating to the life, to the world. We found ourselves dressed in the robe of emptiness. Then how do we wear this robe of emptiness on our entire journey from the beginning to the end? So that's what I wanted to cover at the beginning of this session. It's going to be very practical, experiential, hopefully, moving from naked, stripping away the illusion to dressed in emptiness, integrating the wisdom into every action. Every action of our lives, every action of our spiritual practice. Let's start with the arriving. Of course, arriving is stripping the armor. Throughout this meditation, I will carry this narratives of fabric or weaving. Then breath will be a needle that sews the wisdom of emptiness into the fabric of, you can say, the layers of your body. Settle into your posture. I like this image after the long hike, coming onto the top of the mountain and take off the backpack, heavy load from the shoulder. Imagine you are unzipping perhaps heavy suits. Feel the air gently touching against your skin. Feel them, all the heavy stuff you carried, not only physical sense, but emotionally. This idea of me that fears being ignored, or the I that want to be right, or whatever might be, peel away. Rest for a moment in this nakedness. There is nothing to defend. There is no self standing in the way of the air hitting your skin or the sound entering your ears. Just open, vivid, luminous awareness, nakedly. Again, the breath is a needle that weaves or sews the wisdom of emptiness into this fabric of our journey. So do you get the sense of nakedness, naked clarity? This is the beginning of everything, right? Or background of everything. Now from this naked luminosity, clarity, we begin to dress. Not in an old rags, physical sense, or old rags of ego, self, but in the robe of emptiness. How do we wear this robe in a first step on the path? Let's explore. Refuge, for example. First, feel the space around you. It isn't nothing. It is a support that doesn't grasp back. This is your refuge. It is vast, like a sky. Emptiness. We no longer seek shelter in a solid, permanent something, self. In the world, they might name many things, but we take refuge in the fluid, open nature of reality called Dharma. The main refuge is this emptiness, realization of this emptiness. Then now visualize a golden thread of light beginning at your heart and weaving or extending outward. Because you're empty of a self or a solid boundary that separate you and others, this light flows through you and into every being in your room, in this Zoom room, the city, this world. This is the thread that weaves the robe together. When we realize there is no me to protect and no you to fear, compassion begins. Compassion becomes our natural skin. We can wear emptiness endowed with compassion or the flavor of compassion. See, basis of bodhicitta is emptiness. Again, we practice Ngondo not as a chore to accumulate points, but as a way to wash the old dirty garments of our projections, habit, concepts, until all these are cleared away. Only the clear light of emptiness remains. Natural experience of clear light nature of mind unveils. That's Ngondo, right? Again, dressed in the robe of emptiness. How about the sensations right now you are feeling? Feel the texture of this robe, not the physical sense, robe of emptiness. It is light as air, yet stronger than Vajra, indestructible diamond. If you wear emptiness, what happened? It is a realization that you are not separate from the world, but weaving into it. Okay, now bring this robe into the movement of your life. This is a reflective contemplation. See if we can bring how to wear the robe of emptiness in this embodiment. You can say that daily conduct and yoga, daily lives. We learned, we studied, emptiness is not an excuse for nihilism, right? It is the ultimate ground for ethics. Those beings who realize or started to have a glimpse into emptiness, grounds for ethics. They are really grounded in ethics. Because the things are empty of inherent existence. They are interdependent, right? Every action ripples. You can imagine like this empty calm lakes. If lake has so many clusters on the surface, and if not empty, then ripples doesn't go out. But so calm, peaceful, open lake, if you drop the stone, pebbles, ripples go out. Exactly like that, right? That's how karma works. So then bring to your own life, visualize a difficult interaction from your week you may have had. You record. Now instead of meeting it with the armor of your ego, defense, whatever you habitually might do, see yourself meeting it dressed in emptiness. How that shift or change the situation. There is no target for the other person's anger to hit. There is perhaps only response of compassion. We want to explore more, but just think about it lightly at this point. So that the karma and the ethics, like dressed in the robe of emptiness in terms of ethics and karma. How about the love and compassion? How to wear the robes of emptiness when we interact with others. What happens when you are dressed in emptiness? Your heart is no longer a locked room, tight grasping. It is an open space where the suffering of others can be felt, like Panchen Lama saying, it's unbearable. Suffering of all being is unbearable, cannot bear any longer. But it is transformed without burning us out, because we wear the robe of emptiness. You wear a robe of emptiness. You act not because you should, but because the illusion of separation has dissolved. Think about it. A few more topics to go over how those things, those practices, those points are dressed in the robe of emptiness. Deity yoga, for example, we all practice. For those walking the path of the, for example, Vajrayogini or Dakini, the robe of emptiness become radiant. If you have a Idan Dakini practice, see your physical form dissolve into light, dissolve into emptiness, space, white canvas. Without that, it's impossible to emerge, not as a flesh and bone, but as a form made of emptiness and appearance. You are a rainbow like nature, visible, vibrant, yet untouchable. See if we can experience have experienced the dance of appearance and emptiness in this journey of Idan Yoga. We don't pray to a statue, right? Vajrayogini statue, for example. We arise as a deity, a form made of light and emptiness. That's the object of our prayer. How about the subtle body? Now, feel the central channel, Avaduti, Uma, Intivajan, as a hollow lead of light. Your breath is the wind of wisdom moving through a transparent vessel. There is no solid body here, only a dance of energy. Feel that. How about the Chu? In the practice of Chu, we offer the naked body as a feast. Empty body as a feast. We realize that the demons we fear and the offering of the body we attach to, the self we cherish, are all made of the same empty fabric. Right. So at the end of the practice, we rest in this emptiness of the three spheres, and agent, guest, action, everything is dressed in the robe of emptiness. How about the Guru Yoga then? How about this Guru business? The mind of the Guru, the mind of the Buddha, and your own naked mind are revealed as a single, seamless expanse of Dharmakaya, emptiness. So now, before we conclude this meditation, feel the hem of this robe of emptiness touching the ground. This wisdom is your new skin. Hopefully every step we take after this journey or this session is a step taken in the robe of the Buddha's mind. Hopefully after this, we do not go back to this heavy road, habitual, heavy, rigid clothes of the ego. Carry this robe of emptiness into your workplace, your family lives, your home, and your silences. It is a garment that never wears out, literally, a protection that never fails, and a beautiful robe, you can say, that never fades. As a conclusion, at the dedication, let us recommit to see clearly, to love boundlessly, and to walk courageously through this life, naked of ego, self, yet fully dressed in the infinite potential of emptiness. I commit to not dressing myself in the old, suffocating garments of I and mine. I choose to walk through the world dressed in the light, breathable, and indestructible robe of emptiness. Let's dedicate, may the merit of this journey and even this short meditation strips away the illusion of all beings until every heart is dressed in the radiant clarity of the great emptiness.